there? Welcome to another great video game ideas not used video, GVGINU for short. As always, I'm Andre, and it is a pleasure to share my thoughts with you. So, this is something that I think I've talked about before. It was with the DLC. I kind of threw out a huge rant over DLC at one point. I think it was after hearing about Metro First Light, I think was the game, where the DLC became exclusive to pre-ordering, like where you got the DLC for the harder mode and then you actually had to pay for the harder mode. Okay. I think it was Metro First Light. It might have been something else, but I think it was that. Anyhow, I was thinking about the whole DLC thing and the way it's used. The way it's used now, I wouldn't pay into it. I wouldn't. I don't see the point in paying for, costumes, additional costumes for characters that don't do it. Like, one, that they don't really do anything special, and two, they don't add anything to the gameplay other than a design choice made by the player. That type of stuff should be unlockable within the game. You should actually have to earn it in the game. You shouldn't have to pay for it. That's redundant and ridiculous. Now, additional characters, I can understand, depending upon the game, paying for them. In a fighting game, if you're going to add additional characters to the game, they should be bought in sets. They should not be individuals, and they should not cost more than $1 per character. So that way, when you're buy the set, say you're buying an 8-character set, $8. That makes sense to me. It's like buying action figures, but they're movable and usable and they're digital. That's how I look at it. Just at this point, they're not in any special packaging and they're not sitting on any store shelf. All they are is digital information on a server somewhere that has to be paid for and brought to your console. They should not be on. If it's on the disc, you should be able to utilize it. That's how I feel. If it's on the disc, if it's in the original code of the game, you should be able to utilize it. You should not have to pay anything additional for it. Outside of, I guess, specific subscription fees for varying companies. But that's beside my point. I would prefer that game developers and game publishers, that if you're going to be spending your time making games, that you don't shortchange the people who are going to buy those games. Like, really, what's the point in doing that? It's annoying, for one. And two, like I said, I wouldn't want to pay extra money for stuff that's already coded in the game that I purchased. I don't see that as fair in any sense of the word. It's just like with modern day shooters. You should not have to pay additional money for guns. If you don't have guns at the start of the game, they should be unlockable within the game. You should not have to pay additional money to buy those guns. Unless it's an example sort of like Shadowgun Dead Zone, where that is a free-to-play game and they only make money off of the stuff that you buy. And most of that stuff that's in that game you can unlock without actually buying anything. You just have to play and build up your experience, and you can unlock the stuff slowly. I mean, that's just my take on it. Games like Street Fighter, you should not have to pay for additional costumes. Like I said, that is redundant to me. That shouldn't be content that you have to pay for. Like, that type of stuff where it doesn't actually enhance anything in any way, it should not have any cost to it. It shouldn't. Now, say if you're playing an action-adventure game and you've already beat the game, and then like 2 or 3 months later down the line, there's DLC for an additional quest or additional areas for you to explore, I can deal with that. I can understand that. I mean, I think that's how PC gamers were used to it for the longest time. And I get that. I understand that. That's cool in my book. I wouldn't even mind paying like 10 or 20 bucks for something as long as it's expansive. Like, it's like a major expansion. It's not like some short crap that I'm going to get done in 2 to 3 hours. Like, it's got to be like a massive expansion that's going to have me sitting down there for at least an additional 10 to 20 hours of play. That would make it worth it. And it's just, I guess I just felt like I wanted to say something on it. It's been sitting in my mind. I wanted to talk about DLC again because I don't want people to think, at least from that rant video I had, that I'm just completely against DLC. I know I said in that video I'm not, even though it's quite old now as far as my videos go. But I would prefer that it get utilized the right way. Like, so many companies decided, well, we're going to give you a broken product and then have you pay for all of the extra pieces that go to it. That's just like, okay, let's say I go and buy a tool set and all of my different varying size Phillips head screwdrivers were missing from that set. Should I have to go back to the store and pay for those Phillips head screwdrivers for that set if it was supposed to come in there in the first place? I mean, there's already spots there for it. There's already spots there for it. I just don't have them. And I'm not talking about somebody who just goes out and buys a tool box that's empty. I mean a full tool set that has the case and everything. That would be, you would look at them like, I'm not buying that. I'm not paying for that. Like, it doesn't have everything to it. Why the heck should I have to pay additional money for something that was supposed to be there? I think that was what ticked me off with the whole Metro Last Light thing. But come to find out, it was basically stores telling them that they needed something as a pre-order bonus. It was like, why would y'all do that to this company? Like, y'all put them in such a horrible ass light. That word slipped out. They put them in such a horrible light because of that, and it made the developers and publishers seem like they were just being greedy at the point when it was literally the store saying we need a pre-order bonus. I do think they could have chose to do something a little better for pre-order bonuses. Like, some artwork or something. So like some concept art and things like that. Just put into a book. Stuff that you didn't use for the game. That would have been cool. I wish more companies would do that type of stuff. It would make a lot more sense. Rather than the crap that's been going on now. But I don't know. Is there anything else I really wanted to say on this? I don't really think I did. I think I covered all points I needed to, or I felt I needed to. So yeah, I think I'm done. But thank you for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff. And until the next time, enjoy your games.